The silence of Seoul's upscale Hanam neighborhood was shattered when an unidentified intruder breached the private residence of BTS's youngest member, Jungkook. The incident, which occurred in the early hours of the morning, has sent shockwaves through the global ARMY community and triggered an unprecedented response from HYBE labels. Jungkook, who had just returned from a late-night studio session, was reportedly alone when the break-in occurred. According to internal sources, the intruder managed to bypass multiple layers of security, raising serious questions about the safety protocols surrounding BTS members. HYBE's emergency response team was dispatched within minutes. Jungkook, visibly shaken and disoriented, was immediately transported to a private hospital affiliated with the company. Medical staff confirmed that while there were no physical injuries, the psychological toll was severe. Jungkook was placed under intensive observation, and HYBE swiftly issued a confidential internal memo to all BTS-related departments, halting all schedules involving the group's youngest member. The news reached Jin, BTS's eldest young, while he was attending a closed-door military event. Jin, known for his calm demeanor and protective instincts, reportedly left the event mid-session and headed straight to HYBE's headquarters. Witnesses described his arrival as explosive, with Jin demanding a full security audit and immediate accountability from HYBE's executive board. His fury was not just about the breach. It was about the emotional trauma inflicted on Jungkook, a member he has long treated like a younger brother. Taehyung, who had been filming a solo campaign in Paris, was urgently recalled. HYBE arranged a private jet to bring him back to Seoul within hours. Upon arrival, Taehyung was seen entering the hospital where Jungkook was recovering, accompanied by a tight circle of security and staff. The bond between the two has always been palpable, and insiders revealed that Taehyung stayed by Jungkook's side throughout the night, refusing to leave until he was assured of his friend's stability. Meanwhile, RM, J-Hope, Suga, and Jimin were briefed in separate locations. RM, the group's leader, reportedly held a private call with HYBE's CEO, demanding a public statement and a full-scale investigation. J-Hope, currently in LA for a dance collaboration, canceled his schedule and began coordinating with HYBE's legal team. Suga, ever the strategist, initiated a quiet but firm push for legal reform regarding celebrity privacy in South Korea. Jimin, deeply affected, posted a cryptic message on his private fan platform, hinting at the emotional weight the group was carrying. HYBE's official statement came hours later. It was brief, direct, and uncharacteristically emotional. "We are taking this matter with utmost seriousness. The safety of our artists is non-negotiable. We will pursue all legal avenues to ensure justice is served." But behind the scenes, the tension was escalating. Jin, still at the headquarters, reportedly demanded a restructuring of the artist's security division. His voice, usually reserved for stage performances and fan interactions, became the loudest in HYBE's boardroom. The incident has reignited public debate about the vulnerability of K-pop idols, especially those with global fame. Jungkook's home, once a symbol of his hard-earned success, became the epicenter of a crisis that exposed cracks in the system. Fans around the world began trending support messages, but HYBE, under Jin's pressure, refused to let the narrative be driven by hashtags. Instead, they initiated a full-scale internal review, led by Jin himself. As Jungkook slowly began to recover, HYBE made a bold move. They summoned Jin and Taehyung to the central headquarters for a confidential strategy meeting. The goal: to redefine the boundaries of artist protection, privacy, and mental health support. Jin, now unofficially leading the charge, has become the face of a movement that could reshape how entertainment agencies treat their stars. This is no longer just about one incident. It's about the emotional safety of 7 men who have given everything to their fans, their country, and the world. And as Jin's fury turns into action, the world watches, because when BTS moves, the industry follows. Stay tuned for part 2, where we uncover the aftermath of the meeting, the emotional confrontation between Jin and HYBE's top brass, and the unexpected decision that could change BTS's future forever. The atmosphere inside HYBE's central headquarters was unlike anything the company had ever witnessed. Jin, still in his military uniform, stood at the center of the executive boardroom, surrounded by senior directors, legal advisors, and artist management leads. His voice was calm, but his words were razor-sharp. This isn't just about Jungkook. This is about all of us. If you can't protect one, you can't protect seven. The room fell silent. Jin's demand was clear: a complete overhaul of HYBE's artist protection protocols, including 24/7 surveillance, biometric access control for private residences, and a dedicated mental health task force for all BTS members. But it wasn't just about logistics. Jin wanted accountability. He wanted names. He wanted resignations. Taehyung, seated beside him, echoed the sentiment. Known for his poetic soul and quiet strength, Taehyung rarely speaks in corporate settings, but this time he did. "We've given you our youth, our privacy, our peace. Don't make us give you our safety too." The impact was immediate. HYBE's CEO, visibly shaken, agreed to a temporary suspension of all BTS-related public activities. The company would enter a protective recalibration phase, during which no member would appear in public without full security clearance. The decision was unprecedented, but the stakes were too high. Meanwhile, Jungkook, still recovering in the hospital, received a private visit from Jin and Taehyung. The reunion was emotional. Jungkook, who had remained silent since the incident, broke down in tears. Jin held his hand and promised, "You're not alone. Not now. Not ever." Taehyung, eyes red but voice steady, added, "We'll fix this. Together." Outside the hospital, fans gathered in quiet solidarity. No chants, no banners, just silence and candlelight. The army had understood the gravity of the moment. This wasn't a time for celebration, it was a time for reflection. Back at HYBE, RM convened a virtual summit with the remaining members. J-Hope, Suga, and Jimin joined from their respective locations. The conversation was raw, emotional, and brutally honest. RM, ever the diplomat, laid out the options. "We can continue as we are, or we can demand change. Real change." Suga, pragmatic and sharp, proposed a legal task force funded directly by BTS's earnings. J-Hope offered to spearhead a global awareness campaign about celebrity safety. Jimin, still visibly shaken, suggested a temporary retreat for the group, a place away from cameras, contracts, and chaos. The decision was unanimous. BTS would enter a silent pact. No public statements, no social media posts, no interviews, just silence. Not as a retreat, but as a protest. A protest against the system that failed to protect one of their own. HYBE, under immense pressure, began implementing the changes. Security teams were doubled. Residences were reevaluated. Staff were retrained. And most importantly, a new division